Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 19th. I hope you had a good week. For today's tarot casting, we will be using a new spread called the Impermanence. I just finished this up and it's in our shop as of now. It's basically a spread that wants us to focus on letting go of things. So I'm not sure how it's going to come across as a collective, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. So yeah, let's just get to it, shall we? So this position here is like what's in the back of our minds, right? Like maybe going into the week, this is kind of some leftover energy from last week or something that's been bothering us that we can't quite put our finger on. It's just that what's in the back of the mind. And we have the Four of Wands. And so maybe there's like some celebrations that are going on, some planning. Maybe there's like a big day or a big event that you already had or are looking forward to. And it's unconsciously getting into every single little thing that you're doing. You know, like your brain isn't allowed to have your full focus because you're constantly thinking about this event that's going on or this celebratory thing that, you know, is just taking up a little bit of space in your brain. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just in the back of your head. And now this is going to be what's in the front of our mind. This is what we're actively pursuing and planning for this week. This is the Chariot. So this is the motivations of, you know, what's in the back of the mind is this celebration, this event, this thing that you're really looking forward to, or maybe, like I said, that it already happened and you're just kind of like wishing that you could be back in that energy. But what's on the front of your mind is moving forward. You know, the Chariot saying, okay, it's time to get going. We're moving along. You know, you're motivated and you're just going to have to leave this where it is. The bones, this is the second position. This is the structure that remains long after about worrying about this event. This event that happened, but you got to move on from it, so no more worrying about it. It has passed. And so this could be holding you up or also hindering. And we have the Magician. And the Magician is saying, okay, what's holding us up is that we actually are in charge and we know how to do the things going forward. So it's like the magic is literally in our hands. And that's actually not bad. It could be a hindrance because you might be overthinking it, but you got to get going anyway, right? And so the bottom card here is what's dissolving. This is what's dematerializing, what we need to just let go. Perhaps this has something to do with that event. Maybe it was a triggering event. Maybe it wasn't celebratory at all. You know, maybe there was a lot of sparks and you just keep replaying what you should have done different. And then the Chariot's telling us to move on. And the Magician's saying, yeah, you can move on because the power is literally in your hand. This Magician reminds me of He-Man, I've got the power. Okay, and then so this is what's dissolving and the Lovers. And we've got, you know, those choices. Maybe the longer you wait, the choice is no longer in your hands. Maybe it's just kind of whatever that event was, you just got to let it go because, like I said, we're moving forward. We have this power, and then the choices and those things that maybe our idea of what the outcomes were supposed to be need to just kind of be let go because we can plan all we want, but what's actually going to happen, you know, what they say about best laid plans. So these spots, I created them for tiny tiles, like tiny Lenormand. You can use whatever. Today I'm using the Radial Lenormand button oracle. This is new. And this is what's composting. Composting, action steps to salvage the nutrients or the good bits, you know, what's feeding us, what's feeding our growth. It's kind of spiraling in this way, what's feeding our growth for that next phase. And I've got 3. So we've got the letter, the mountain, and the tree. So put the letter here, the mountain, and the tree. And so what's feeding our growth in this position is, you know, there were maybe some notes that we received that were causing us like to stop dead in our tracks. Like it was a huge obstacle. But then the tree shows up to say, well, this is actually helping us to branch out and to take it a little bit slower. So whatever has happened, you don't have to make a hasty choice. You can go into it in a slow, methodical manner because now you have all the pieces in place, right? And so for this position, this is an oracle card. And I like to say that this is the essence, right? This is, it's optional, but I always use the optional spots. This is the solar energy from everything that, you know, where everything began and where everything's going from. So whatever this triggering event was, whether it was celebration or something that you wish didn't happen, this is like how it's benefiting, and it's just kind of, you know, an umbrella about it. We're using the Rebel deck. I haven't used this one in a while. It's always very chatty. So this can either radiate out, like, or just be a touchstone for the week to come back to if you start to feel like things are not quite falling how you would like them to. We have, you are giving your power away. And so it says, you are a badass, so act like it. So in this week, you know, if this subconscious thought starts to come to the forefront of the mind, remember that it's not supposed to have so much power. And whoever you're giving your power away to, take it back, you know, because you are a badass. Remember that as you go throughout the week, that you are motivated, you've got this, the tools are literally in your hands. The choices are there, but the choice that is the right one is coming into very clear focus. You know, there's no more of that, should it be this or that? And you have all the notes, you have all the letters, you have all the signs, and therefore you can make a slow, methodical choice, and it's gonna really help branch out. So, you know, whenever you start to feel a little unravelly, take your power back. Let me know if this reading resonated with you, if you like the sticker. I know it's a little early for the fall vibes, but I was feeling it, so that's why I drew it. The felt tarot is now in the shop. The button oracle is also in the shop, and the casting sticker is also in the shop. The Morgan Greer deck you can get through the publisher, which is US Games, and Rebel deck you can get through, I think, rebeldeck.com. Be sure to follow me on Patreon. I've been sharing a bunch of creative stuff over there about my thought process and just that type of thing, and you know what's going on in my world behind the scenes. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you here next week. Have a good one. Bye.